Hello everyone, this is Suzanne at God Crochet and Chatter. Today is Tuesday, and I know a lot of you are getting ready for the holiday coming up on Thursday, Thanksgiving. So much to be thankful for, and we're certainly looking forward to our Thanksgiving dinner with family and friends. We have my daughter's caregiver that takes care of Tyler for us. She's been with us like 15 years or more, and she is so good, and she has a daughter. And the other person that helps out a lot is our good friend Lori. Lori is there when anybody needs help. She's ready to help. She loves my daughter immensely, as I do, and they're going to be joining us also. So, indeed, it will be a wonderful day. All right. At the end of our devotion today, I got the scarf done. I finished it up this morning when I was doing laundry. I got the 2 loads of laundry and gotta get dinner ready in a little while. I did have a rough morning. Both my knees were burning and aching, and I spent most of the morning in bed. I got up at 11 and I had to lay right back down, and I got up around 1:30. But sometimes we just have to pace ourselves and allow our bodies to rest or get in a comfortable position as much as we can. All right, let's get to our devotional today. The name of the devotional is Just Enough. This comes from our Daily Bread pamphlet. As I've mentioned before, you can go to ourdailybread.org, ourdailybread.org, and you can, for $5, you will start getting this booklet every month, and it has very nice short devotionals in it, packed with a lot of power. All right, let's talk about just enough for a moment. How much is just enough? Now, we've seen people that have the hoarding experiences in their life where they just won't let go of anything, collect anything and everything, and it's very sad to see the conditions that people live in. They somehow don't have whatever it is in their brain to click off and saying, no, you don't need to have all this stuff. You're living in misery and pain. You can't walk through. There's feces on the floor. It's horrible. We used to watch Hoarders, and it's hard to understand how people live that way. They are just stuck. How do we know when enough is just enough? How much yarn do we need? I'm guilty of that. I first started my channel. I talked about yarn, lots of yarn. And I was kind of basing it off other videos that I watch on people that do crochet and teach lessons and buy yarn. And a lot of these come on and they show you many different yarns, and they make them sound scrumptious. And it spurs you to want to go out and buy that yarn. And I know I got caught in that trap a little bit, and now I have more yarn than I'll ever use in a lifetime. I love my yarn. I know that when I pass, it will go to some kind of ministry that will help others. It will be used and repurposed. But do we need to just buy for a couple projects ahead and get centered in on those projects, then move to the next project and then buy some yarn? That's each individual's decision, but when enough is enough, we have to know when to say, okay, I have enough of this, I have enough of that. I don't need to buy it just because it's on sale, or I want to have that huge teapot collection. And how many times have I gone to garage sales and seen all these dreamsicles? Thousands of dreamsicles people are reselling. Teacup, spoons, you name it, people collect it. And eventually it gets to the Salvation Army. It gets thrown away. The kids don't want it. It's okay to have hobbies, and it's okay to have a few. I love snowmen. I love snowman ornaments and snowman figurines, and I am content with what I have. Of course, every year I try to add one more little snowman to my collection, which I haven't done yet this year, but I'm sure I will. But how much does God think is enough for us? Was it enough that Jesus came and died on the cross for us? Yeah, that was just enough. Just enough to get us back into good graces with God, to enter into heaven one day, to be forgiven of our sins. God doesn't go overboard on stuff. And He didn't place us here to have an overabundance of everything. Now, God will do abundantly and above more than what we ask for, and that's nice. But let's read this little devotional. In the movie Fiddler on the Roof, the character Taib talks honestly with God about his economics. You made many, many poor people. I realize, of course, that it's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? Would it have spoiled some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man? Have you had those thoughts? Just so I didn't have to struggle so hard. I just want the basics. I just want a home and heat and clothes and be able to pay my bills. Just enough so that I'm not struggling so hard. Many centuries before Shalom Aleichem placed these honest words on Taib's tongue, Agar lifted an equally honest but somewhat different prayer to God in the book of Proverbs. Agar asked God to give him neither poverty nor wealth, just his daily bread. He knew that having too much could make him proud and transform him into a practical atheist, denying the character of God. In addition, he asked God to not let him become poor, because it might cause him to dishonor God's name by stealing from others. Agar recognized God as his sole provider, and he asked him for just enough to satisfy his daily needs. His prayer revealed a pursuit of God and the contentment that he found in him alone. He asked him for just enough to satisfy his daily needs. How often do we do that? God, satisfy my daily needs. Food, shelter, clothing. Just basic things, Lord. And we need to learn to be content. I know there are people that have 4 and 5 closets full of clothes, shoes, and do we really need that much? Or do we just want it? May we have Agar's attitude, recognizing God as the provider of all we have. As we pursue financial stewardship that honors his name, let's live in contentment before him, the one who not only provides just enough, but more than enough. Now, there are people that save up to go on vacations. They have things, not extravagant, but they make sure all their basic bills are met. All those are taken care of. Because if we start going after what we want, we're going to be spending our money in areas that we ought not to be doing that, where we need to pay that electric bill, we need to pay, for our groceries, we need to make sure our money that we have is going to cover everything. And the things that it doesn't cover, I know many of you are living check to check, that we pray that God will bless us with crossing our path with people that will help us, that will encourage us, that will be there when we need them. And that's a wonderful thing. God will make sure you have just enough. We have to reach out sometimes and not be proud. Say, hey, I need some help. I don't have enough money to pay my electric bill, my heat bill. I could use an extra $20 to finish buying my grocery list. Just enough. What can you do to pursue God and find contentment in him? How can you express your gratitude to him for his faithfulness? Dear God, our provider, help me be satisfied with everything you supply. 2 things I ask of you, Lord. Do not refuse me before I die. Keep falsehood and lies far from me, and give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise I may have too much and disown you, and say, Who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and still to dishonor the name of my God. Insight? The opening verse of Proverbs 30 attributes this Proverbs to a man named Agar, the son of Jacob. Unfortunately, this is all we know of him. The text of verse 1 continues that his utterance was given to people named Ethiel and Ucal, about whom we also know little. What can we surmise from the nature of these proverbs? Perhaps that Agar was a man of humility and an astute observer of nature and human nature. The fact that his wise sayings are included in the book of Proverbs is testimony to the high regard with which they were held by Jewish rabbinic scholarship. In verse 8, we also discover that Agar apparently was a man of moderation rather than excess, and he asked God, Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me my daily bread. Now, for years, I know several people that love the, I think it's called QVC channel. Now, these are paid professionals that come on there. They could make you buy ice cubes in Alaska. They are very good at selling the product. I mean, they convince you that you cannot pass this up. You better take advantage of this. This is a good price. They're flying out the door. And they get people all hyped up. Yeah, I got it. I got to get that. I got to get that. And people can get themselves in trouble when they overbuy or they overstretch their budget to where then they're really hurting. So, just enough, Lord. Just enough to get me through each day, that I don't become weary, that I don't become fearful, I don't become stressed, knowing that you will provide everything I need at the right time. All right, that's it for just enough. All right, I got the scarf done. This is a corner-to-corner scarf, and I made it wide, as you can see. This is the width. My grandson's a big boy, a big man, and the one I made him last year, here I am, the one I made him last year was too narrow, and it didn't wrap around his neck long enough. Well, this puppy here, all right, here's the beginning. This is 8 feet long. It's coming. There you go. 8 feet long. Now, I come up to about my grandson's belly button. He's a tall boy. This could almost be a shawl. Look at that. So this will more than enough. All right, there's one wrapped that way. Bring this one up like this. You can even put it on top of his head. Bring it down in front of him. Oh, wouldn't this be nice? So that's twice around. Let's see. There we go. All right. So yeah, I think this will work. I think this will work. Yeah, even just like this. There we go. I'm gonna bring it up like this. Yeah, that'll work. You can see in the back. Yeah, so what you think? This went pretty quick. I got 5 skeins in this scarf. It was 15 squares in the width, and I finished it up this morning. I was going to do it last night, but time we got home, we had to take Ron to his doctor's appointment, and then by the time I got home, we went to a couple furniture stores. I think I found a chair that I'm going to get for when I have my knee surgery. That'll be easy for me to sit in and get out of, which is going to be very important. Coming to find out, they didn't tell me what I needed after surgery, but I got some things. I got to get a script from the doctor for some crutches, my insurance should pay for that, so that's helpful because they're like $50 for a pair of crutches. I don't want to pay that if I don't have to. So, but everything will work out. We're taking one day at a time, as I know you do. You take care, and tomorrow we will be doing Ephesians chapter 4. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. God bless you, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow.